In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a standby database making use of the Transportable media function. So first of all, I've already installed and started the components on both my hosts, and I have gone and introduced the primary and the standby host to the GUI. Next, I'm going to go and create my DDC. So I'm going to choose my primary. I am going to accept the license agreement, test database. Then I'm going to choose my standby host. It is also going to be the test database, just a small little change here with my Oracle, home, and then I am going to put in my license key. This will then go and create our all-important DDC. As you can see, our DDC is created and it's on the latest version. Now we're going to go back and we are going to say create standby database. Then we are going to choose our test configuration, which we've just created. That will then go and do a couple of checks in the background to see if it can connect to the primary, standby, see if the database is up and running on primary, etc. We're going to click on new database. This is going to be a file system to file system. So I've got my Dbvisit recovery file system there, a file dest. I just want to add the other one, db create files dest. I usually like to see this. There it is. Got it. Okay, but now we want to make use of transportable media because we don't have a great network to transport the backup files over. So I am choosing transportable media. You'll see that it takes this option of backing up as soon as the first file is available, transferring and starting the restore in the meantime while it's starting to back up the second file. It takes this option away. Okay, so it means that we're first going to have to transfer all the files, and once the files are transferred, then we will be given a chance to resume the creation of the standby database. So what I've done is I've gone and created a little place where we can do this too. So we are manually going to do this, and I'm going to say okay, start the backup or start the creation of the standby database. So again, it will now do what it needs to do. It will start the actual backup of the database, and once it is done the backing up of the database and we've got those RMAN files, it's going to pause because it's now going to give us the opportunity to manually transfer those files over to the other side, and then we're going to resume. Okay, as you can see, it is now gone and it has put us in a paused state. So it has done the backup for it. So it says here now that you unplug your transportable media if it was, for example, a NFS mount, or manually move it to the other side, plug it in, and then make sure that it is seen by the standby host, and then you can resume. So for us to simulate this, what I'm going to do is I'm manually going to transfer or SCP these backup files that were created just now. So I'm just going to make a little bit of a workaround here so that we can simulate it. So I'm saying SCP all these backup files over to this place on that standby host. It will now carry on and do what I'm asking it to do. You'll see that it's there. Let's go. Let's clear this. See that I have copied everything over. Okay, let's carry on. Now, let's say resume create standby database. So it says it's resuming. There you can see it is waiting to open up that task for us. And now it is going to continue with the creation of the standby database using those files that I've manually transferred over, and is going to restore the database, do all the magic in the background so that we end up with a standby database on the standby host. As you can see, our database creation completed successfully. So it was broken down into the backup part. It paused. It allowed us to either, if we had an NFS mount, to unmount it, take it to the standby host and mount it there, making sure that the standby host can see it, and resuming creation of the standby database. Or in our case, we simulated that by, once it paused, we manually SCP'd those backup files over to the location where we indicated, and then once we've done that, we went back, we resumed the creation of the standby database, and it completed successfully. And just to make sure that we are indeed having a successfully created standby database, I am, as usual, just going to send logs and apply logs as my final test. And there you can see the apply logs. And that concludes how to create a standby database using the transportable media option. Thank you.